This video will instruct you on the different types of authentication and which to set up for your network in regards to filtering and monitoring through the Wavecrest CyBlock Cloud solution. Let's go ahead and log in. Alright, so once we're logged in, we can go straight to the user management authentication screen. This is where we go into the rules of how our authentication takes place. There are three types of authentication. There is NTLM, there is cookie authentication, and there's no authentication, which is disabled. By default, we use NTLM Windows-based credentials for authentication type, which is just your standard username from logging into Windows as you log into Windows when you first log in. The cookie establishes a cached cookie in the browser so that the session does not have to ask for credentials to hand off to the proxy if there's any authentication issues that accounts for that. The disabled authentication, there are no issues with authentication with disabled authentication. The only thing is that the IP address is filtered and monitored based on the IP address only, and you won't get a username. However, there are no authentication issues with that. For more information on the other authentication types and how to use them and for what occasions, you can go to the website www.wavecrest.net, and you can go to the support section, click on CyBlock Web Security Cloud, click on CyBlock Cloud Documents, Product Manual, and you can choose whatever version's there, which will be the latest version of the cloud. And here's your manual. You can get access to specifically the Authentication Manager by clicking on the headings section here and looking for User Management Authentication Manager. And this will give you the authentication types and when to use those. For this video, we're going to work with the standard NTLM credentials for Windows-based logon. These are default because it's very easy to use when you're monitoring and filtering users based on their username from Active Directory, for example. So we're going to click on the NTLM tab because we have two different options here in regards to authentication. We have the moderate and the strict as far as login names go. The moderate option is the default option. In this mode, the NTLM authentication is enabled and the login names are used. The product is operating in automatic bypass mode, which means that if you have any authentication failures that fail more than 5 times, the product automatically takes action to work around the problem by bypassing authentication. This will happen if, for example, a web application or a website is not designed to work with proxy authentication. The strict option also uses NTLM authentication. However, it requires the administrator to enter in the URL from the web application or the website that's causing authentication issues. And we'll go back to our rules tab. This is the cookie section, which you can edit the cookie settings in there. We're going to stick to NTLM. If you want to change your authentication option for the default, simply click on or highlight the NTLM authentication type, click on Type NTLM, and you can choose either one of these. The cookie and the AUP are cookie-based credentials, and disabled is no authentication at all, uses IP addresses. In the next video, we will discuss how to use the real-time monitor and monitor for authentication issues, as well as identify what kind of authentication we're using for the user. Thank you very much for watching this video, and you have a great day.